So I'm not sure if this is accurate, because I could be, I don't know, I could be getting this wrong, but I believe that the sword might be on a sober streak at the moment, so he's trying to get rid of the fog. Don't quote me, because I'm not sure if I've got this right, but I got a feeling when after I did the fog ritual in the morning, he came to me, and in this vision he's laying his sobriety at my feet. The only thing is that I got told about this quite a while ago, so a few months back. My clairvoyant did mention that he would be going on a sober streak. I mean, that's really good if he is, because, you know, that means he's closer to the miracle than he is to the karma. So in a way, that's actually really surprising and really good. The only thing is that she did mention that, you know, he's gonna falter, and that's why I have to keep going, because in case he does, there's nothing I can really, you know, do about that. Interesting. I didn't think that would happen, and I spoke to God afterwards about it, and I said, is this true? And he said, yeah. So I'm hoping that I've got this right and I'm not just imagining it, you know. But Father did say something along the lines of he is on a sober streak at the moment, so I wish him all the luck, you know. I do. I mean, if he does this, that means that he could get his blueprint back, and if he gets his blueprint back, that means that I won't have to do his part, because there's a part that only he can do, because his blueprint is attached to it. So I just want him to, you know, if he does do this all the way, then yeah, I'd be cheering him on. But if he does this and then he falters, it's just not worth it, really. But the fact that he's trying, you know, that's cool. At least he's tried. The 20th of March isn't that far away either, so hopefully if he's got rid of the fog, which will double his points, when he does do the kneel, then, you know, he might actually catch up. I don't know, if he could catch up to the timeline, that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? If he was able to do that. But yeah, let's hope he doesn't relapse, because that will just fuck it all up. He has to have a witness there when he so it's almost like a confessional kneel, really, isn't it, in a way? So it doesn't matter who it is, as long as there is somebody there, and then what that will do will lock on to the actual timeline that we have to be on, basically. But if he relapses, he doesn't make that timeline until I don't know how many years. So let's just hope he gets through. But yeah, that's if he has quit, you know, if he has quit the weed, because if he has, that's really big for him. So yeah, that would be really cool. But if not, then he's gonna end up in a really nasty relationship, because the one that comes after me, she's not what she seems, and she basically is another mirror, but she makes him feel worse than the last two he's had in between me and him. So yeah, you know, his timeline, I've seen all 4 of them, so there's only one where he makes it, and the other 3 are just horrendous. They really are. They're basically like the timelines I had years ago, where they break you. They break you. You know, the experience that you go through with whoever it is that you meet, it breaks you. It breaks you into 1,000 pieces. I should know. I've been there quite a while ago. Now I'm careful about who I get into a relationship with, or who I allow in that kind of part of me, because I know the energy transfers, and they are not cool. And I don't want to be like any of the people that I was with before. So that's why I'm taking my time. You know, I want to get past it all, and then be in a proper relationship with somebody when I know I'm able to do it. But yeah, I mean, if he does this, that means God could potentially put the sword back into his hands, because at the moment all he's doing is shining it. He's saying all he's doing is sort of making it look pretty, but once he gets, the only way he can lock it is by the witness. He needs a witness, and then that will lock. And then once that's locked, that's it. He's on a roll. And then better and better things are going to keep on happening to him, even though it'll feel quiet. Like at first it'll feel really quiet, because that's what happened with me. It felt quiet for about 3 months, and then it will just one thing after another. It's just amazing. And then next thing you know, you've got so much love and protection and help and whatever. It doesn't matter what you're doing in Thailand, or it doesn't matter what you're doing wherever you are in England or wherever, really. It's like a snowball effect. It just gets better and better and better. So yeah, that was actually quite a nice, if it's true, if he really has quit, that was quite a nice feeling to have after my prayer over the river. I was a bit sort of shook this morning, so I haven't taken a lot of videos because of it, because I was like, why did he just come into my head? It was kind of random. So when I asked the question, those were the answers I got. I don't know if that's something he's planning to do, or if he's actually begun, or if he's been doing it for a while. I got sort of like 3 weeks or something, in like 3 weeks or 21 days. I don't know, those two things were coming to me. So I don't know if it's actually, because I can't feel him anymore, so I don't know like what feelings he's going through. I used to be able to feel everything, used to be able to feel him, but yeah, but God only shows me or allows me to see certain things once they've passed a certain threshold. So if he has, or if he is sober for 3 weeks, that means he must have passed the threshold. That's why I'm allowed to know about it, the way that I have. Or if he's planning to do it, that's another threshold. See, they're both thresholds. So if he's planning to do it for 3 weeks, that's another thing. So it just depends. But either way, if he's trying, you know, I have to allow it, because I can't, I've got no control over it. Only God does. So, you know, before I used to have control over it, and I'd be able to go, no, you know, I don't care if you've done this, like, I'm still not taking you back. Whereas now it's in God's hands, so I don't get to choose that. I don't get to choose, because he holds the blueprint regardless, up until the 20th of March, up until the equinox. And if he hasn't knelt before then, because kneeling isn't about just kneeling, it's about giving yourself, like, it's about surrendering yourself. Yeah, So that's what kneeling is. It's surrendering yourself. It's not just you get down on one knee and that's it, you know, or you say a prayer on one knee. It doesn't work like that. You have to be, it's almost like you have to go through the whole surrendering side of it when you do kneel, and just be like, God, I can't do this without you, you know, that kind of thing. So it just depends, because he can kneel all he wants, but if he doesn't surrender in any of those kneels, that timeline doesn't lock. So, I mean, when Sarah told me that, you know, look, he does quit, but he relapses, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, like, okay, you know. So I don't know if he's strong enough to continue it. But yeah, good luck, you know, if he does, because this is his sole mission. I've seen his contract. I asked for it. I wanted to see what he'd signed up to, and because we'd signed it together, I was allowed to see it. So he's actually allowed to see mine, but he's never asked for it. So, but his is exactly what God said it was. Protection, you know, what the sword does, he protects the truth on all accounts. So he has to burn away all his lies in order to get to that point, and that's why God needs him to surrender. Because if he burns all his lies, then he's got nothing holding him back. And when a human has got nothing holding them back, that's when they're the most powerful. And so what God needs him to do is let go of everything, become the most powerful for himself, which will make him feel like he isn't, because what he would have done is confess, what he would have done is witness, what he would have done is all these things. So they would have made him feel like somewhat way, yeah? That's what he thinks anyway. But the difference is, actually, it's going to work the opposite for him. So as soon as he does that, he'll just be like, oh, like he'll just let go. He just doesn't know that. He just doesn't know it. So hopefully he's listening to God like I did this morning, where I heard God speak of him. Hopefully he's listening to God at the moment, and God's explaining to him why he needs him prepared in a certain way, his body, his mind, his soul prepared in a certain way, so that he can then allow the surrender to happen. You see, everything's got like a step. I didn't really know that at first. I found it out after I went through the resurrection, not before. So I can't even say to you, oh yeah, I was well prepared. I was not prepared whatsoever. Being electrocuted for an hour, no one can prepare you for that. The difference with me is I have to get electrocuted, obviously, whatever the case is. But with the sword, he doesn't. What happens is it comes from the ground. Mine came from the sky. His comes from the ground, and it goes up his spine. So I don't know if you've seen my vlogs on YouTube, but it's the third vlog, or the third vlog, where I speak about the fact that the way Shiva will enter him, well, it doesn't really enter, but the way Shiva will clean his body out, and how he does it, because it goes through into his spine and into his shoulders, and it clears away all his emasculinity that he's been feeling, if he has, or anything that made him feel less of a man. That all goes. So, you know, he won't have that anymore. There's so many things that change for him as soon as he does it, but because he hasn't been through it yet, he doesn't know what's coming. But he will feel good, because I felt freaking great. Oh, I felt so good. Like, I felt like I'd been cleared out of anything that was annoying me, niggling me, you know, paying me off, hurting me, any of that. I was just clear of it. Like, it was all gone. There was no pain whatsoever, only forgiveness and love. Hence why I can still sort of say good luck to him and not feel anything for it, because you know, I've got no hate, no animosity towards him. Even though whatever's happened has happened, I just don't have it. I don't have it in me anymore. I can't. The other day I got annoyed, and I couldn't even stay annoyed for long. Like, you just can't like this. When you're in this level of dimension, it's really, really difficult to get angry and stay angry. Do you know what I mean? You get emotional, gosh, yeah. I mean, wow, I cried, like I said yesterday, quite a lot. But none of it makes you feel like, you know, like bad or worse or terrible or, you know, because he just fixes you. He just fixes you. And I've never been fixed emotionally before like that. You know, it takes a lot. You've got to go through meditations, and you've got to go maybe even, I don't know, try different things. But yeah, when it came to this sword, I saw 4 timelines. I asked for them. I wanted to know what happens month by month, from now until 2028. Yeah, so I literally asked for month by month reading for the sword all the way up to 2028, 2029, just so that I could figure out whether or not he's got a chance or he hasn't. But it all depends on now, because the timeline locks and it can't be unlocked. It just can't be. He will have to deal with the karma, and the karma's pretty rough, man. The karma's horrible. The karma's really bad, but it's there to break you. So imagine this, everything that's happened to him thus far hasn't done it. Yeah, it hasn't broken him. Yeah, so not his health issues, nothing has broken him, right? Nothing. So he was still, in fact, he got worse. So he went the opposite way, even more so. Yeah. So what this will now do is lock the timeline, because Father can't wait any longer, you know, to know whether he wants to be the sword, whether he wants to live that wonderful life here, and whether or not he wants to kind of do the right thing by him, because he does have a beautiful life here. I've read that timeline as well. I had to read that right at the end. I had to read the other 3 first, but they're all pretty bad. He doesn't have to believe it. He can just pretend going on living that way. But he knows that everything that I've told him in the last year has pretty much happened. So he knows that I know that, you know, what the future holds for him. But yeah, just sitting around and not doing anything is also a decision as far as God's concerned. And that is also a timeline. There is a timeline where he just sits there and does nothing. He just writes drafts and that's it. Just does nothing. There's a timeline where he ends up going on a short break somewhere on the coast, and that really messes up his entire situation. And then there's another timeline where he like, it's almost like he's negotiating again, you know. Oh, if I don't do this, maybe I could do this, maybe I could get points here. If I don't do that, I could do, you know what I mean? So God sees that as negotiating, or God sees it as not really, he's still trying to look for a strategy rather than actually just, you know, surrendering. So there is just the one that he surrenders in, and if he actually does that, I mean, I'll be really, like, I will be surprised, because I would have lost the bet in heaven. That means that means I would have lost the bet in heaven, because I didn't want to look at it in a bad way. So what I did was I made a bet with Raphael and Gabrielle that he doesn't make it, and I think the bet was that they both thought that he would. that last minute, because they're rooting for the underdog. I think that's what they're doing. They're rooting for the underdog. They're like, you know, but because I was arguing with God for quite a while before then about him even being the sword. But like, as a start, I really, you know, at the time when I made the bet, I didn't really have any I didn't have any faith. I just didn't have any faith. But God always did. And, you know, he kept saying, right until the end, right until the very, very last minute, I will wait for him. You know, that's God. He's so patient. Like, I don't know how he does it. But yeah, that was strange. That's a strange thing. And then when I went to the monastery, again, he came into my mind again. And the thing is, I haven't even thought of him for a while, you know, like every so often, maybe, but not like this, you know, where it's really strong. So I don't know what he's doing or what's made him do it. That's just, I'm actually kind of proud. Yeah, I am. I know how hard that would have been for him if he's done it. I mean, if he hasn't, I'm just talking out of my arse, really, aren't I? But if he actually has done it, fuck. So, yeah, I have to be somewhere to properly pray and have a good chat with God. I can't really do it in the car with the driving. Kind of struggling because I need to be on my knees. So, yeah, that's basically the update on the sword, I think. I'm hoping anyway, that is the case, unless he's going to start, you know, and he's going to make it to 3 weeks and then he's going to relapse. I don't know, but he's actually doing good at the moment, according to Father, or according to what I hear.